If you're just venturing into the property market, or you're looking to buy your first home in Sri Lanka and you need a little bit more clarity on how the whole process works, then this video is for you. I'm Adit Chandrasekhar and I'm from Axe Realty, and this video is our beginner's guide on how to buy your first property in Sri Lanka. Before we get started, I just want to give you a little bit of disclosure. Now, this video is just to give you a rough idea on how the sale works. So basically, what happens after you choose the property that you want to move forward with. So let's get right into the steps. So once you identify the property that you want to move forward with, we suggest you ask a few questions to kind of understand the ownership status. So some of these questions could be like, is the property owned by a single owner, or if there are multiple owners, or if it's owned by a company? That's something you kind of need to get some clarity on. In the case that it is owned by a company, you want to find out a little bit more information about how many directors are in the company and who's going to be the main point of contact for you when you're doing the deal. And another question would be, there are certain instances where the seller of the property might not be in the country. So in that case, it's good for you to kind of clarify if the seller is going to be flying down during the point of sale to complete the transaction, or if the seller is appointing a power of attorney who is going to be a representative on behalf of the seller to complete the transaction. Now, we suggest you ask these questions to kind of get like a proper grasp of who you're going to be dealing with and who is going to be completing the transactions for you. So once you've got clarity on those questions that I've told you about, the next stage is to direct your lawyer towards the seller's lawyers. This is the stage that the lawyers will exchange the deeds for them to conduct their due diligence. Now, we do recommend that you get your lawyers to talk to each other for the exchange of deeds instead of you talking directly to the seller, to increase accountability and safety, because when the lawyers are involved, they are accountable for the communication that happens when it comes to legal documentation. So the next stage is, after your lawyer has basically received all the documents from the seller's lawyer, he's going to conduct his due diligence and he's going to check with the land registry to find out if the deed that has been given to him is the most recent one. And once he conducts his due diligence, he will then prepare what's called a deed of transfer. Now, a deed of transfer is what moves ownership of the property from the seller over to you. Now, I also want to add an additional note here. If in case the seller is not flying down to the country and if they're assigning a power of attorney, I would suggest you get your lawyer to collect any of those documents as well, to ensure that the person who you are dealing with for the transaction has all the necessary permissions to conduct that transaction. So this can also be done as a part of the due diligence process by your lawyer. So as the next stage, while your deed of transfer is being prepared, you can speak with your counsels and get your funds ready. You can then go talk to your bank and then get them to give you a bank draft. Now, a bank draft is generated from the buyer's bank, from your side to the seller's bank, as a guarantee of payment. So once all of this is done, you've come down to your final step, and this is the stage where you actually conduct the signing. So in this stage, the deed of transfer is prepared, you've got the bank draft ready, you just have to basically speak to the seller, decide on a time and place and date for you to meet up with your respective lawyers and get the signing completed. And that is how you go through your first property buying experience. Now, we've gone through a fair bit of detail. Now, if this sounds a bit complicated for you or you're a bit confused, don't worry, we're here to simplify the whole process for you. So we're going to drop a number here down right now. If you have questions, you can reach us on that number. If you want, you can drop a comment about any questions you might have as well, and we will make sure to answer that as well to the best of our ability. Now, with that being said, this is Adit signing off. If you like this video, subscribe, take care, and have a great day.